Well, good morning, everybody. Hopefully people are happy, and sorry about changing the stream schedule, but the Trainz beta release date moved up, and next week we've had the surprise announce of Dresden Chemnitz Turanda Ramp. So I'll be streaming that next week, and then we'll be back onto the planned one, which was Mariah's Pass, I think on the week after, I hope. Yes. Actually, it's so the stream schedule's always here. I'll pop this, I thought I'd put it in the chat actually. Steam Engine Combo use Stuff Train Gaming. So we've got Orbost and Turanda Ramp, thanks to the surprise announcement, and our Mariah's Pass the week after, which is probably a good thing because it'll let me find something interesting for Mariah's Pass. I did find a couple of community scenarios that were quite good, so that's what I hope to be playing, if it works out. We've got Michael on the disembodied voice, as usual, in Canada. And greetings to Chicago's Railroad Vids and Photography Productions.
Hello.
I think I should move the rail driver. It's sitting on top of this thing's HUD. And sadly in Trainz I need the HUD because it's basically how you drive it half the time, because I'd love to say everything actually works really well, but it's Trainz. Speaking of works really well, oh, get back. I was just telling Michael just before we started this that just before I did this it downloaded an update, which was kind of exciting. Okay. And I'm actually a little bit into the first scenario that I was going to play because I wanted to make sure it was working. So I'll keep going with that. We are looking at the Victorian Railways T-Class here, a pair of them. Well, three if you count the one in the background. And we are on Trainz 2022 public beta. And the reason I can stream the beta is because anybody can have it. There are no restrictions. These locomotives look and sound a little bit like Alcos, but they're not. They're actually based on an EMD, but they're made here. There's a few anachronisms in this. It's supposed to set between the 70s and 80s, but I don't remember those kind of light poles around railway yards in the 70s and 80s. I think they came in a bit later. So we are slowly moving. I am pushing through a hideous piece of track known as a double slip. A double slip is better known as a derail that just hasn't happened yet. Hello, Chris Vasquez. How are you? Welcome to the stream. And I'm using something that's new to Trainz. It's never had it before. You can walk. Still a bit awkward, but you can do it. One of the cool things about Trainz is when you're walking, you can walk through whatever you want. So you can actually see what's inside a boxcar without opening the doors. This one appears to be full of oranges and apples, which is kind of cool. What's in this one? Stuff from Florida. Well, there you go. And empty crates. So we've got Australian oranges and apples in that one, and Florida oranges in empty crates in that one. Very good. So we're playing a scenario which is called, oh, Chris is going to get tested in 20 minutes. I actually pulled off the minor miracle yesterday of actually being able to buy some rats, rapid antigen tests. They're in very short supply in Australia. Because I don't know if you guys know, but we came out of lockdown, dropped all the restrictions, Omicron came in, and we're topping 1 million cases this week. Yay. Yay, new life. Good luck with your test, Chris. I hope it's negative. I also hope you get your results quickly, because a lot of the time we don't. If we go for a PCR test currently, the wait time is 5 to 7 days. You can stop now, train, honest. You notice I just walked right through that locomotive. We'll be in it shortly. Actually, we probably won't be in it very much in this scenario because it's a bit weird. I'll show you what I mean. Now I want to go into uncoupling mode, and this is why you need the HUD. Nice animation on the couplings. Now the question is, will I actually be able to... it's decided I don't have a train selected anymore. Now I do. Bugs. Will I get back through the double slip and actually be on the tracks? This is an interesting question. We'll know soon. Wait, not that way. You know, I was pretty sure I changed that. But that's okay. Let's try that again. That's better. Hopefully it didn't couple up again. Did it? No, left the stuff behind. Now in reality they're knuckle couplers. They would have coupled up again. Will we get through the double slip? Where are we going? Ah! No! No! We're going the wrong way! Stop! Stop! Ah, this is going to be one of those streams, isn't it? They are kind of similar, yes. We'll brave the double slip again. And hopefully I don't derail. If I do, I have a backup scenario. It's okay. Yeah, they're baby engines. They're fairly lightweight. That's actually a good question, Chris. I think normally yes, but the double slips are a bit weird. So I'm just going to push through here and see where I end up this time. It's like having random track, but sometimes you don't make it. And unfortunately they don't animate, so you can't go and look at them and see where they're going to go. It's just anyone's guess, really. And it looks like we're going straight this time, so we're not going into the road that we were in, we're going into a different one. Maybe I should just push forward through them again and see what happens. Maybe they'll go in the right road this time. That would be funny. That doesn't feel like walk mode. Well, walk mode. There we go. Hopefully that's far enough off that it'll actually let me change them. Let's try that and see what happens. Only double slips don't animate, the other ones do, Chris. And I'm not sure if double slips are new to Trainz. They could be. I believe the correct approach to a T-class is just jam it in notch 4, but because I'm mucking around with these double slips, I really don't want to. Let's see where the wheels go. Oh, they're following a different track. Let's hope they all follow this track. They'll actually be going to the right place, I think. Wow. Trainz 2022. Random track destinations. It's kind of funny. We are spoiled in Trainz Sim World, you're right. Very much so. They have made a lot of improvements in this version of Trainz, I have to say. Probably not enough yet. Come on, over we go. You know you want it. Oh, this train's still sitting on them. I haven't gone far enough. Isn't it funny how we're spoilt in Trainz Sim World too, but there are a collection of gifted individuals who love to say, no, we're not. use this yet? Yes, I can. See, those ones animate. I just saw that. Alright. Let's start bringing these back. And whoops. Slightly overactive on the cameras there. Come back down here so we can watch it couple up. Hopefully it won't run over me. Oh, they've got a CW. I was actually trying to find a CW for my passenger scenario and I couldn't find one, but obviously it exists. It must be called something else. Oh, that's probably not the best angle to look at people. We're in the kitchen now. That's the fun bit about trains. When you're walking, you can go anywhere. Oh well. Hope they're enjoying their breakfast. Oh, they are coming down here. Good. Not a lot of power switches in country Victoria, which is where this one's set. So Bairnsdale is about 2.5 hours east of Melbourne. And we're going even more east. Yay! My first Russian spammer of the morning. Put you in... What? And that person will go away. And now I'll put this back in full screen mode and hope it survives. At least I put the brakes on before I did that. Now these little white things, I'm not sure if the English trains have them, but we use them. They're tail discs, and it just designates to anybody that's watching your train that that's the end of the train. So it'll disappear when it couples up. Well, it should. And there should be one on the other end of my train.
It'll fold up by the looks of it.
Yep. Yeah, that's what they do in reality too.
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's jump in the cab of this and go, uh-oh, we're on the wrong side. Nope. That's the problem with their scenario currently, is if the locos are facing, whoops, that way around, then you end up on the wrong side. That's okay. We'll forgive it. We'll just drive from outside. But I will show you what the cab of the thing looks like shortly. Now we should hopefully bring that whole train with us. Trainz does do coupless like fairly nicely. You can actually see it stretching the train out as we leave there. And I'm amazed that there's only one T-class on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 car passenger train, because the middle cars are heavyweight steel and the end ones are fairly light, but yeah, one T-class with that would have been a slow trip. These aren't the most powerful things in the world. Semaphore signalling. The Australian convention for crossings is you whistle once at the whistle board and then again just as you enter the crossing. Just to scare the shit out of whoever you hit right before you hit them. See there's an animated person doing push-ups by the looks of things. There is a bit of animation in Trainz. That's something that TSW could do with. The other thing they seem to manage better, the anti-aliasing on fences is awful and the sleepers is awful, but the wires they seem to do a little bit better. There's a lot of trestle bridges in this game. Thinking we might fall right through the world then, but I somehow managed to not do it. Hey, that went well. There we go. Now I finally got what I wanted. There's a couple of people playing football on the oval there. Australian rules football, naturally enough. But no one else would recognise as football. It's a problem of not being in the cab, you miss the whistle boards. I think they've got the rails pretty well right. They look nice. There's a lightning tree. I assume that shows up on the screen, the lightning playing around in the tree there. Now they're on a hill, and finally do this.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
The other difficulty with the gum trees, I mean, the trunks are very realistic, they're quite nice for a eucalypt. But each leaf is about the size of a baby's arm. Not Jake, not because we have to, but because we can. Animated digger moving some logs around there. Yes, I know I'm speeding. It's kind of what I do. So I think this fairly well represents the Victorian countryside. Just not that much going on, really. The reality at a crossing like that is the driver would look and go, "No, no traffic," and probably wouldn't even do the horn. Nice Southern Cross windmill there. It even squeaks. Interestingly enough, in the time frame this is set in, I'm not too sure that we would have had big round tractor poo like that. I suspect it would have been the small square tractor poo. There's lots of fallen branches, but they don't seem to be near trees. But apart from that, yeah, it's actually done quite nicely. does have a bit of draw weirdness going on, but it still looks nice. Yes. The white stuff that you could see before. Now, am I in walk mode? No. Right, now I'm in walk mode. That's kind of nice. I get distracted easily, you see. I like the sky too. I think they've done that well. My gut feel is that they've improved the sky in this version of Trainz. The wind through the grass is also very nice, but I'm pretty sure they had this before. They're moving a little bit. We go look at this one, for example. There is a little bit of movement, not a lot. You just see that central branch is moving around a little bit. But it takes a fair bit to move a eucalypt and not much to move a windmill. I remember when Trainz, probably 2014, was the first time they implemented wind in the trees. And at that time, they always reminded me of one of those displays that you see outside a shopping centre or someone that's having a sale, the big man doing this. They always reminded me of that. They've calmed them down. Proper road. No cars though. Must be COVID time. Too far off our next task, I think. If we have a look at the map. That's where we're going. Don't know why we lost sound then. Because we've lost our train, I think. We've moved so far in the map that we've gone. Fortunately, it's easy to get back to your train in Trainz. It can't get so far away from you that you can't find it again. And if it does, you can go to any train that you find on the map and go, make it mine. There's no dispatcher in Trainz, so you do everything yourself, which means you don't generally see any AI kind of traffic anywhere. You can have other trains moving around simultaneously, but they get stuck because they can't change signals and they can't change poles. Of course, it picked the side that's not sunny, didn't it? This pretty much is the Victorian countryside. It's fairly accurately modelled. It's just lots of nothing, really. Try out the brand new dynamic brakes. Do they work? These only appeared in the build that I saw this morning. The answer would appear to be no. Failure to observe speed limits will result in penalties. Thank you, Trainz. Tell you what, I'll let gravity help me with the speed limits. How about that? Since your dynamic brakes don't work. Brakes work though. Interestingly, it's got me stopping all the way down there on the bridge. Shunter in high vis in the 80s. I don't think so. Probably would have been wearing black. Oh, kangaroos. There you go. Giant bouncy bush rats. Only they'd animated them, because they would have all run away from the train for sure. Gonna make the stop marker. Oh yeah, alright. Do I have to do anything to unload it? Proceed to Bumbera, apparently. We have the funniest place names. They do nice water, give them that. There's another version of the T-Class that's even more gutless called the P-Class, which was the same power plant. Some of them had head-end power, and they were geared for passenger speeds, which meant they were even more slow to take off, but they could at least run faster. And I used to go home behind one of those quite often. Managed to sneak the occasional cab ride. You asked about the edge of the world before, Chris.
Game is showing that your local brakes applied.
It is, isn't it? A whole 1%. There we go. So, yes, you can very much see the edge of the world. This is Trainz mapping. They generally only map a couple of tiles either side of the route, so there's not a lot to see in the distance because it's simply not there. A bit like TS maps, I guess. I think a lot of them are like that. There's not much modelled either side of the track. There's even some smoke. Good, clean, burning diesel. It's good for your health. Don't worry, cows. It's good for you. I did a diesel run on Puffing Willie on Wednesday. And the guy I was out with at one point stuck his head out the window and goes, "Hey, cow!" Explained to me afterwards that this is what his family does. They yell out, "Hey, cow," whenever they pass some cows and then count how many react to them. And whoever gets the most cows reacting is the winner. So you can very much see the edge of the world off to the right there. We could probably walk over there and fall off. I wonder if they thought of that with their walk camera. That would be a short stream, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably would.
All right, I'll go slower. Just kind of hit the stream interesting. I have to bring it down a bit before it kicks me out. Not all scenarios do it, but actually they're called sessions in Trainz, they're not called scenarios. But some of them, if you speed too often, they just go, nah, game over. Now I've braked too much, well done. I've got smoke coming from the house chimneys, excellent. And one of the big trestles that you see in this area this line does have the what is believed to be the biggest wooden trestle bridge in the southern hemisphere. Yeah, whenever I build sessions for Trainz, I don't do that to people. Because, yeah, it is a bit mean. Derailment, fair enough. They derailed the thing, they kind of deserve it, but... Dry creek bed. That would have been a total raging torrent the other day. feel the lack of power. I should play one of these clips of the carriages coming past for Jasper from Rivet and go, this is what carriages sound like, mate. Yeah, I don't know, Chris. This one's not very tall, it's just very, very long. Forgot about the downhill bit, didn't I? I'll blame the chat. Everybody does that, don't they? And by the time these brakes react, we'll be going uphill again, so I'll just release them. Like the little standing billabong back there in the dry creek. When all else fails, more amps. Come in and sit on the wrong side of the cab for a little while. They are a bit interactive. Turn your wipe. So they've probably got TS1's level of interactivity with things. I'll show you the other controls shortly, because I built a little scenario with the Loco the right way round. Because while I'm sure it's tempting to run these things short hood first, more often than not they ran long hood first. Dropping off a GY wagon loaded with bird shit. otherwise known as phosphate. This one's an occupation crossing, they don't get a honk. Combined with the hill might have been a little bit too much. There's a bloke over there on the platform going, "It's my wagon. I want my precious. I want my precious bird pool." Welcome to Bumbera. Oh, look. Another spammer. Excellent. Maybe I'll just leave it in windowed mode so when the next spammer turns up I can kill them quicker. Through the tree, through the fence. Guess we're going to find out if you have to apply handbrakes in this game.
Barbed wire? That thought it'd be good for you.
No. Looks like you don't need to apply handbrakes. Awesome. You can stop anytime you want. It's all good. I went all the way around. This is pretty typical of Victorian railways too. Grass in the tracks. It's kind of normal, really. G'day, mate. Your GY full of shit's coming up. That hasn't managed to push itself over the hill yet. There it comes. So here we have an I wagon, and we're dropping off at GY. And as near as I can tell the difference between an I's are red, GY's are yellow. I don't know if that's the only difference, but it seems that way when you look at them. I was kind of hoping that was heavy enough to carry itself over the hill, but obviously it wasn't. "5 mile an hour on the Ropefoot Bridge, Chris. That's pretty slow." That's the limit I put on the track. If I don't like it, it puff. Till the engineer's gone and had a look. Curves eat speed in trains. Good luck with the nose mole. Hopefully your test comes out negative and you've just got a cold, Chris. And if it does come out positive, hope you recover quickly and fully. Here, if you want to get a PCR test, you need to turn up there at about 6:30 in the morning, and when they open at 8:30, if you're lucky, you'll be close enough to the front of the line that they'll actually test you. Photos of uncoupling still moving. Oh, look at that. Puts the handbrakes on, but the wheels are still going. Still going. Still going. Still going. They're going to sit there and wear a hole in the track. That's funny. Still going. GY, yellow. I, red. And there's a few little differences. The catches on the doors are different. Maybe the GY ones are on hinges and maybe they're ramps. Oh look, their wheels are turning too. How novel. Oh well. There are some things you look at them and just go, that's okay. I do like their track. They've done a really nice job on the track. I hate to use the word perfect, but I'd have to go in this case. It's pretty bloody close. And that wasn't enough for the locos to get over the hump on the road. Come on. I'm a little bit surprised at that. And off we go. Breathing. There's a few little loop spots in the sound, but for the most part, it's actually pretty nice. I'm going to apply more power again because I've got to be going slower at the top of the hill. So. Now, oop, floating grass. Once again caught unawares by how gutless T-Class are. Cow's eye view. It's a pretty steep bit of track, isn't it? Keeping the speed down though, because we've got a 25 very shortly.
Doesn't look like it on the map.
Ah, it looks kind of flat, but I'm tipping it's not. And this will be a 25 corner. And you kind of have to have route knowledge in these things, because you see where the speed sign is? Right at the entry to the curve. Way too late to be able to brake. Exit. Sort of something. Do they have different numbers? Oh, they do. How good's that? Dynamics again to see if we're any better this time. Let's just go notch 8 on the dynamics, see what it does. Doesn't feel like much to me. Coming downwards. I think the dynamics don't work at all. So we won't bother with them again. Yeah, speeding detected, thank you. Do your thing. Birds are singing, carriages rattling. Lightning playing in the trees. Nice shadows. The bird you can hear is a magpie. Or giant bouncy bush rats. G'day, mate. How's it going? Fight? Oh, you want to fight? Don't just disappear on me. If you ever come to Australia, don't get too close to them. They're a bit mean. Another trestle bridge. Who's breathing on the map? So I can't move the map while I'm playing, is it? Is that what we're seeing? No, doesn't look like it. Alright. Fair enough. My brakes on. Brake pressure come off? I don't know why my brakes were on then, because they weren't on a rail driver. Sorry, car people who aren't there. Blocking your way. Fan or farmer sitting up on the edge over there? Who knows? whistle board for this crossing? No, there is one. I just didn't see it. There's a whistle board for the next crossing as well. Almost at our next stop of Proven. Hey Chris, welcome back. That was pretty quick. Did they find anything other than snot? Some gold, diamonds? You didn't miss anything really exciting. I still managed to stay on the track somehow. I'm sinking into the swamp. Bridge coming up. It's not the big one. Precedent here, I might actually do the speed limit before I get there. Stopping at Proven to drop off wagons. Pretty sure we call them carriages, but that's okay. N3V's only an Australian company, you'd think you'd get the name right. Still on the wrong side. I wonder if you can actually move. No. Mouse. Can I go over there with a mouse? No. Life. HUD looks like we're going down, but we're obviously not. Green signal on the semaphore here. I'm curious if that'll drop back behind us. Does. Cool. There's sheep wagons. Sheep carriages. Didn't make the stop point again. Come on, train. You can do it. It's quite an extensive yard here. Sidings over there. Sidings over here. Lots of stuff to play with. And a poor unfortunate person who's reading their book thinking, I can catch my train, but no. This is a goods train, sorry. They might do that indeed. Still not going to make the stopping point. And despite the HUD saying I'm in knots 2, I haven't heard it bottle up at all. anybody think there was a handbrake on? 'Cause we're not on flat ground, but we're slowing down. I wonder if they've done the signalling right. This will be interesting. That one? Or that one? I kind of think this one. Maybe not. Maybe this one.
Looks like you got it wrong.
Does. There we go. And we're going to be coupling to something. But to what though? There, maybe? Nah, that's what we're going to couple to. Good-o. Now you don't want to stop. Before you didn't want to go. Looks like we're leaving the GY behind. does that thing. Can't open that up. Ah. No, it's not that. No, it is something we're supposed to do over here. No, must be behind me. Anybody guess what it wants?
Maybe for you to recouple to the train?
I don't know, I can't drive at the moment. I'm kind of guessing it wants me to put a carriage here, but I can't drive. So whatever it is, it wants to be right there. I'll do that, but I can't. No, I can put it in forwards. It's just not believing the rail driver. And now it is. Okay. Bugs. I think it just wants me to put a carriage here. She says an AI train has control of the lever, because it's actually me that has control of the lever. Oop, I didn't go far enough. Okay. Back we come. The joys of shunting. Yes, we can stand in the shade. I guess it is a little bit derail valley. And I'd better slow this down a little bit, or it is going to be derail valley. Lots of stuff here. Leave that one. Yay, good guess. Just a little bit quick. More brakes, more brakes, more brakes. Bang. Or tinkle, as it may, case may be. Now I've got to uncouple this one. Now I think so. It's just to go over there. It does. This road's already set. Yeah, it's letting me know I'm doing the task, so I've got 2 out of 3 done now. Can I beat the train back here? I haven't found any way to ride shunter fashion on the carriages in this particular game. There is kind of a task list. There's this thing up here, it's just telling me I've done 2 of 3. I'd love to tell you I know how to actually expand that and find out what all the tasks are, but I do not. So at each location you just get stuff to do, basically. I wish the independent brake was a bit more consistent. Sometimes it seems it's not going to apply at all, and other times it just goes whack. T. No. No T key. Most of the train here. Completed the tasks for here, so I guess we're just going back on the train and leaving. Sounds like angry forearm fingers, Michael.
I'm actually surprised that's coming across because it's not a mechanical keyboard.
Did I reset this one? I think I did. Yep. Yeah, some of their texturing's a bit off. I think it's a really old asset. Because the really old stuff tends
Weird.
The really old stuff tends to look a bit crap, whereas the stuff that they've done recently is quite nice. You often find out with the locos in Trainz, if it's a recent build, they look and behave nicely and they've got lots of interactive things. If they don't, they're not. Proceed to Noa Noa. None of this waiting for the brakes to pump up stuff, just more power. Bridge. That'd be a lot of fun to ride a bike over that. Don't get any much fun in a wheelchair, but a lot of fun on a bike. I reckon you could almost get air at the top there. Gratuitous bridge shot. About ever shortening train. Yeah, that tractor's moving. Cool. That's something we still don't have in TSW is moving background stuff.
That's not a good sign.
Although I think it might be UFO powered because it's floating. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. It's back on the ground now. Now it's in the ground. Excellent. More tractor poo over there. Big harvester. Must be all of his machinery, because he's got nothing in his machinery shed. It's all over there. So we've got a little bit of a climb coming up. Speeding for much longer. Sawmill over on the right there. Bridge and a 25 corner coming up. And that's not the big one. It's only a baby. Session was described as an hour, but I don't think it is. Just somehow. Alright, get this one done and then I'll run the little short one that shows you the controls of the T-Class and that you really can control it since you can't sit in the right side of the cab in this one. Gravity, do your thing. Bit of a tight one. sound's pretty good. I'd like to have some more bass in it because these things are pretty throbby in reality. Mr. Gratuitous bridge shot. Terrible. See you later, Chris. Thanks for watching, and I hope your test comes out negative, mate. It's a fairly handsy route. We're throttling up and down quite a bit. I wonder if we're going to get to the end. We've been going for a while, and it's a fair while to go. Being naughty again. Sounded like it was playing the sounds for two different notches at the same time for a little while.
Yeah, it did.
straight into a pole. How advanced it's braking. It's got a little bit of braking on the train and bail off the loco. I think it actually did that. That's good. Gravity's starting to not work. Going uphill, I'm just going to take the opportune time to go and get my drink bottle. Didn't crash. Maybe I should put Creepy Doll in the chair. She might drive better than me. I wonder if this thing would even recognise Creepy Doll. That's an interesting question. I think we need to find out. Was a Halloween gifts. We've got nowhere to put it, so she just sits out, scares people.
Not creepy enough.
You think? Yeah, I think this isn't creepy.
Nope.
Yeah. Creepy Doll, you made the train go too fast. Will this little hump slow us down? Should. And is. Start a new channel and just put a camera on Creepy Doll 24 hours a day. Someone would watch it.
Probably.
She moves, but she hasn't got her batteries in her. She talks and sings and waves her arms. And has glowing red eyes and a head that turns all the way around, a bit like Linda Blair, without the vomit. So we're approaching our normal end time. Should we just continue on? It does seem to have rather a long way to go. Or should we jump in the other little scenario so at least you can see the Loco's controls? I shall leave it to you, chat.
Well, let's jump into the scenario.
Shall do. The cool thing about Trainz is, what's this? Save. And it actually works. You can recover it. Alright, now, do you want Orbost T with a GY? There we go. Drive that. And it's rolling backwards. Fantastic. Let's give it lots of brakes. It's got the train brake on. Why is it rolling? Alright, you can stop now. Knows the brakes are on. Alright, so in the cab, lots of stuff in here is interactive. Now, one thing I do think is a little bit disappointing is that the gauge is in kilometres an hour, but the route is in miles an hour. In the 80s, these trains probably would have showed miles per hour, even though we changed to... Oh, not that one. Even though we changed to kilometres in the 60s. And sadly, you can't control your loco stuff. Now, I did just turn on vigilance. Unfortunately, you can press the vigilance button. And there's lots of things that do work in here. We did see the windows earlier. Alright, so let's try and drive this thing this way. Where's the horn? Oop, get out the headlight. I don't see a horn anywhere unless it's that. That would be a sander though, normally. Be sure it's sand. Oh, there's a horn. No, off. That was funny. Let's notch up. Pretty steep hill. Let's go for 3. There's the train brake. Now that's moving, we'll release the independent. And away we go. I think from memory this is further along the map. Yeah, it's near the end. We turned into Jeff. It's just a reminder that just came up in my calendar. Who have I forgotten about? Oh, that's okay.
Your new subscribers?
Ah, yes. We had Kurt Axtel, Barnsdale Boy, and 2 people I might have read out last week, but I'm not sure. Matthias Koski and Charlie Foxtrot. Vigilance button. Push. 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 Doesn't work. Oh no. That worked well. Now disabled the vigilance, so we can probably release our brakes and have our train back. Sounds like it. Yeah, throttle up, go uphill. I know you want to. Come on, you can do it. It's not making any amps, is it? Ah, because it's in neutral. Oh. Normal brake. Come on. There we go. That's a bit painful. Oh, I want that one. Value off. It's got a nice compressor sound. Now let's see if it makes any amps. Yes, victory. Excessive acceleration. Yes, I feel excessive acceleration. We're going like a rocket, 6 miles an hour. Ah, well. No, I want to make my field of view wider, not go outside. got a heater. Can't turn it on and off though. Dove. So we'll run this little train into Orbost. This magic thing over here, by the way, is a staff. It's the authority to travel in this section. You don't get much of a view long hood forward. Kind of a door though. Can't pick up the coffee cup. That one looks like it's interactive. These things are a Haskell speed recorder, so it records your speed onto a paper roll. Very advanced technology. We've done 2 hours of the outside Shelby, but of course you can. Currently in T372. This is the dark side. The not so dark side. If you roll back in the stream, Shelby, you'll see a couple of hours of outside of the loco, because when I'm running the goods scenario from Bairnsdale Part 1, it puts you in the second person seat instead of the driver's seat. Chat elected to run my little short scenario where we can sit in the driver's seat. Sounds like one of those GYs behind me's got a flat. I'm not paying attention to my speed because I'm moving. A bigger train. Well, I had a bigger train before. For lots of carriages. This one's only a baby one. But the reality of heading out to Orbost is this probably would have been it most of the time. A tiny train. So the sessions that come with the game do have a couple of larger goods trains. Ooh, some yucky, strange texturing stuff happening above mine and to the left of my door here. It's a bit new. Let's just look away and come back. Is it still there? It's still there.
Oh. Still there.
Well, it is a beta, so you've got to expect some things like that. The top speed as a T-Class, I think, is something like 60 mile an hour, but good luck getting there. I know this one says kilometres and it says 140, but no way whatsoever that's going to happen. The passenger ones can actually get up to 115 kilometres an hour, and they're called a P-Class. They're geared differently. So these are only a 500 horsepower loco. Slowing down to the corner. That's creepy. The new avatar looks almost like me if I didn't have a beard. This line's a pretty slow one, Shelby, so you wouldn't get up to a particularly high speed anyway. I think the highest I've seen is 30 miles an hour or 35 miles an hour. It's not a lot different between the old, that would have been Trainz 2014, I guess, that you were playing then, and Trainz 2022. There are new assets in the game that do make it look better. There's a lovely floating fence up there. Oh, our jaggy shit went away then. That's good. There are new assets that do look good, but there's also a lot of old assets that kind of don't. A little bit quick for a 25 corner. I'll blame chat. It's probably just blame me. We've got a 20 corner coming up as well. Looks like my guard's got a little fire going there in his van. We've established while this thing does have dynamic brakes, they don't work. There's one thing new in Trainz now, Shelby, that we didn't have before. You can walk and run. That I'm pretty sure is new to the 2022 version. Can't keep up with your train though. Not very far out of Orbost now. Lucky textures back on the door. No, that trick didn't work. No, it's here to stay this time, I think. He's not doing a great job of speeding me up. You can see the big bridge in the distance there. That's a good size one. Come right down to 15 for the big bridge. Off in our left turn. Come out on the dark side. I think I'm stomping through someone's lettuce crop. A little bit too much brake there. We have a red signal coming into Orbost. How boring is that? find out why. The long walk in. Oops. I guess you can't walk over bridges.
Well, it sort of sucks.
How did every single set of points end up set the wrong way? Oh, wasn't every single, except this one. Alright. Do I have a signal now? No! What the? You know what? We're going through it. It's obviously defective. I'm not sure what actually happens when you go through a red signal in trains. I don't think I've ever done it.
Oh, we're about to find out.
We are. It's kind of like nothing. There we go. Let's just jump out of driver. I won't save that. And just see what you do get with the route. So you get this one, the morning shift, and that was the one that we were playing before where I swapped over to the little one that I'd made, which was this one. You get the morning shift part 2, but wait, there's more. My guess is we must have been coming up to the end of part 1. I'll probably play it at some point and let you know. Then you get the afternoon shift, which, surprise, is coming back. And then the afternoon shift part 2, which, further surprise, you are back. There you go. All good. In fact, that actually looks like it might be at the end of the line. So I guess the afternoon shift is another one out. What if you can do out and back twice in a day? It seems to be a fair time frame. And then there's the... I put this one together, which was a little passenger train, just to give us a chance to drive that. But we are kind of out of time, so I will finish it here. So, as Shelby pointed out, Trainz 2022 doesn't look that different to the other versions, 2015, 2014, 2012, 2019. 2019 is the latest one, apart from 2022. It does have some new features. The surveyor and the driver.
2019.
Yeah. The surveyor and driver are now one thing. So you can edit and drive. You can flip back and forth between editing and driving if you want to. And that's for both sessions and routes, which is quite good. You've got some new walking and flying cameras. So if I just jump into one of these, let's just jump into that one. And just show you what the new cameras are so you can at least see them. So a car puts you inside the train if you've got one set up for it. Those obviously aren't. So the old cameras that we had before were cab, chase, line side and roaming, so we used to have those. Walk is new. Walk is the one where you can wander around, but you can wander straight through stuff, as we saw in the stream. So let's walk through this platform. Let's walk through this carriage. Oh, look, feet. It's kind of funny, actually. Hello. Don't mind me. Oh, that's weird. But anyway, the other cameras are fly. So you can fly around wherever you want. And you've also got drone. Now, I'm not quite sure what's different between drone and fly, to be honest. Oh, apart from the fact it whines like a mosquito in your ears. So I don't see what the difference is there. But yeah, that's pretty much most of the changes. Go back to this menu. We've got the new surveyor. This is quite different to what we had before, at least visually. And I've done a tutorial on mucking around with this thing. So its filtering stuff works better. The asset loading is a lot quicker than the previous version. It has been taking me a little bit of getting used to work things out. That one. So that's to get into your, into your properties menu now. So if you want to edit the properties of the locomotive, you have to do it there. You can still move a whole consist, but you have to select them all. So you can move things and turn things and whatever you want to do. It looks like you can set the properties for the whole thing, but you actually can't. It still only sets them for the last vehicle that you did. But if you want to rotate the entire consist, for example, you can. Just turn that back around the right way. And if you want to change the direction it's going, you can do that as well. So it's now heading out of Orbost. Did I get that right? No, it's heading into this... Where are we? Yeah, it's heading out of Orbost. So that's fine. That's the trees with leaves as big as babies' arms. But that's okay. But anyway, that's about it for Trainz 2022. Would you go out and buy it if you didn't own Trainz? Yeah, potentially. But if you own Trainz 2019, is it a worthwhile upgrade? I bought the Trainz Plus membership, so I get the game. Now, with the Trainz Plus, joining this thing with Trainz Plus, I think was about, I can't remember, about $70, something like that, Australian. And with Trainz 2022, you get it licensed perpetually, which is good. The downside is there's now a licensed server, so that's a bit crap. So if Oran ever, or sorry, not Oran, they've been Oran for 20 years. If N3V folds, the game's not going to be playable anymore. So that's a bit yuck. But if it does, let me just do this. You do get some other things. So let's just have a look at owned, installed actually. There we go. So coming with it, you get 5 routes. There's Bairnsdale to Orbost, which is one we were playing. Belarek in the Ural Mountains somewhere. I've yet to actually look up where this really is. So, you know, Urals would suggest somewhere like Russia, Ukraine, somewhere like that. Not Hillsville. You get Kickstarter County 2, which is the new one for learning to drive and learning to build routes for that matter. It's a good one to play with. You also get a new German route, but that's not till March. You get Liskiard to Loo, which is a new UK route. Looks a bit interesting. It does worry me that they don't actually show you any trains in the pictures though. So I haven't actually run it yet, so I don't know if it's got any. And you get west from Denver, which is the big Moffat Tunnel. Driving in the tunnel itself, remarkably boring, as you'd expect. But the rest of the scenery is actually really pretty. It's a really nicely done route. So I think this one shows off what the newer Trainz engine can do. Bairnsdale does too as well. I think there's quite a lot going for the Bairnsdale one. It's quite pretty in the landscaping. They've done quite well. So would I buy it again now that I've got it? Yeah, probably. Mainly because it's cheaper to buy it and get the 5 routes than it is to buy the 5 routes. It's like, I think the 5 routes would be about $200. So it's a pretty good deal. It's worth upgrading, I think. So even if you've got Trainz 2019, if you want more playtime, yeah, I'd be grabbing it. Even if you don't think you'd be, I know a lot of people who play Trainz only do Australian content. So even if you don't think you'd like content from other countries, I'd encourage you to get it and have a play. I know in TSW2, I was a pretty late one coming into the German content because I just thought, I don't want to play German content. It looks complex. PZB looks hard. Well, PZB is hard, but it's also fun. So once you get used to it, and I'm kind of used to it, but I do still fail from time to time. That's okay. So, yeah, like that, I learned a lesson to go out of my comfort zone and play some things that I didn't think I'd like and found that I did like it. So that's where that rambling got to. So I think on that note, probably call it a close. I have put up a review of the Bairnsdale Orbost and the Trainz 2022 if you want to look at that. Saves you going through the whole 2 hours of the stream. Mind you, if you've gotten to this point, you've probably gone through the 2 hours of the stream already. 2.5 actually. We've been going for a while. Yeah, cool. So next week, where's that? Where is that window? There it is. So you can always find this stuff here. I did put this in the chat earlier, but I'll put it in here again. So you can find my stream schedule on YouTube, but you can also find it here, and you've got direct links to the streams. Next week we'll be doing Tyrande Ramp.
It didn't show up.
Didn't it? Oh.
There it is.
Cool. Yeah, so next week we'll be doing Tyrande Ramp, Dresden to Chemnitz. It was a little bit of a surprise that route's coming out so soon, but that's good. So that's in TSW2. And the week after that, if nothing else surprising happens, we'll go back to Mariah's Pass, which is what I originally planned for today, and have a look at the BNSF now that that branded equipment and the route itself is available to everybody, which is kind of cool. We're doing a couple of things on Mariah's Pass. We're doing some shunting and we're doing some mainline as well. Tyrande Ramp, we will probably concentrate on the 612. We'll do a little bit of the 185. So the 185 is, yeah, enough said. you'll see those next week and be all good. So thank you very much for watching today, and we'll see you next week. I've got some new content coming up that I'm putting out. If you haven't noticed, I've actually reorganized all the playlists on the channel to separate it into the separate games, because now that we've got so many streams and so many things under the belt, I've been doing this for a bit over a year now, I thought I'd clean it up. So it should make stuff easier to find. So I've got things for the tutorials, things for the streams, and things for the actual runs that I've done. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Thanks very much to the people who are subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And I love having people in the chat. This is really cool. And thank you again to Michael for being the disembodied voice on the other side of the world, who's probably getting a little bit hungry because it's his dinner time about now. And I should thank my family too, because they've been quiet much longer than usual. It's all good. All right, folks.
Not quite. It's 4 o'clock.
Nearly dinner time. So we shall see everybody next week. And I know Chris is gone, but hopefully he has good luck with his test. All right. Have fun, folks, and see you next time. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.